You know, you always worry about when we give them Saturday night off after the scrimmage and meetings, and then obviously yesterday was our true off day, so worried a little bit about how they would respond. They came out, responded well. No new injuries, got some guys back. You know, Malcolm was out there. Kyle Porter still non-contact, but doing a lot of the scout work. We did introduce the scouts today, just a 15-minute block, just to kind of get an understanding of what our expectations are at that tempo of practice, which is really hard. I mean, it's going, it's full speed. It's not a walkthrough, it's not a jog through, it's not brother-in-law on anybody. It's getting good work. And scout team guys, if you're not happy being on scout team, the only person that controls your spot on the depth chart is you. And we told them that, and every year I've been a coach that I can remember, a guy from the scout team has done so well that at some point in the season he's been kind of called up and thrown into the fire and done really well. So just wanted those guys to understand that every day is a tryout for them on that scout team, and that we talk about the scout teams every day in our staff meeting. I'll ask the offensive coaches how the defensive scout team's doing. I'll ask the defensive coaches how the offensive scout team's doing every day, because we want to make sure that those guys are down there giving a great look, but also getting better and trying to improve their lot. So with that, questions?
Can guys go day to day and they have a scout team jersey and then take it off?
Oh, certainly. Yeah. I mean, if day to day is merited, yes. Not often. I mean, it's usually you got to put a few days together, but yeah. I mean, if it's merited.
The scrimmage, any MVPs from the scrimmage or?
No. It was ones against twos. So although we graded it, we didn't treat it like a game-like scrimmage, because it was ones against twos.
Outside of at least Rodriguez in the back, is there anybody that you will say will miss Maryland, or anybody that's been ruled out besides them?
Beck, Rodriguez, Chris Brown.
Chris Brown.
Yeah.
And is he a one-game deal, or do you think?
It'll be from the date of injury, a 4 to 6 week deal. So could be a couple games, could be 3 or 4.
Now that your depth chart is set, who is at least will be starting right now at right tackle, and then who's starting for your quarterback?
Well, as of today, Shane's starting. Now, does that guarantee that he'll start against Maryland? No. But he'll take the bulk of the ones reps. But if he doesn't take advantage of them and Sam plays better than him, then that'll change. But as of now, Shane's getting the bulk of the one reps, but Sam will continue to do that. He's playing. Sam's playing good, and Shane is too. So it's a good battle. But you can tell Shane's played 12 games of college football. And then right tackle, if we had to play today, I think you'd probably jog Tristan Nicholson out with the ones and rotate, and Denzel would get the second series and kind of back and forth and kind of stick with the hot hand, so to speak. If a guy's playing well, then after a few series where the other guy's not, then you stick with that guy throughout the course of the game.
Tom, now that camp is over, will you tackle to the ground on Tuesdays? Is it the Bloody Tuesday practice? Is that how it is?
Yeah. So this week is what we're considering kind of a mock game week. So other than today, obviously on Monday, we won't practice during the season, but Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday will be just like they are during the season, so guys can get into a routine. The one thing, most universities across the country start school either today, tomorrow, some Wednesday. We don't start till the following Wednesday, so we've actually, although camp is over, we still got them all day. We're not bound to the 20-hour rule. So, I mean, it's sun up, before sun up, and after sundown kind of thing. So it still has a feel for camp, like camp, but in terms of their schedule. But we're introducing more scout team and Maryland and game week routines.
In terms of the running back position, Chris still running with the ones?
Yeah, yeah. It'd be Chris right now with Kyle being non-contact. It'd be Chris right now, and then for some reason Kyle couldn't go, then it would be a kind of committee there for the second spot with probably Kirk going in first and Danny Young second, and we'd see if we needed a fourth guy.
I know you wanted to see more from John Bird. Is he a guy that's running with the twos right now? Is he a scout team guy?
No, he's ones. He's running with the ones, rotating in there. He's getting better. Didn't have a great day today. I mean, in all honesty, but his body of work throughout the 3 weeks of camp has been really good.
Who are some of your scout teams that you're looking at to give you guys a good look before these next couple weeks?
Well, the scout team D-line, Max Cummins and DeAndre Christmas and those guys have to get our offensive line better. And then, probably the scout offensive line, to be honest with you, Sam Cosme and Derek Kerstetter and, some of the, I'm trying to think who else jogged down there today. Garrett Graff, he'll do a good job for them, I hope. He should. But those two are always where you worry about, guys not going full speed. So we need the defensive line and offensive line on those scout teams to bring it every day.
Here at the top of the hour, the AP poll is going to be released. There's a really good chance that Texas could be in the bottom, towards the bottom, based on preseason magazines and all that stuff. And if you're not in the top 25, you'll be in the receiving votes category. How do you feel about that right now? Is this a top 25 team right now?
No, we're a 5-7 team.
Yeah.
You are. What's a guy? I forget what coach said. You are what your record says you are. I mean, we hadn't played a game yet, so we'll pay attention to those as we head down the stretch. But right now, just a bunch of people guessing, right?
Tom, in terms of depth on defensive line, how many guys would you feel comfortable right now putting in a game? Do you feel like you've got a decent number of guys aside from the?
Yeah, you got the three starters. Charles being kind of the fourth starter, and then Taquan, Jamari, and then rotate Chris Daniels and Gerald Wilbon in and out at that nose spot, and so there'll be some guys that go scout team for 2 periods, back to the ones and twos and kind of go back and forth, so they get the reps. But I feel good where we're at. That second group has made a lot of strides in the last few months, really.
Jamari's working nose.
All three of them, nose and end.
Maryland doesn't seem to know who its quarterback is going to be for week 1. How does that affect how you prepare for that game?
Not a whole lot. From what I understand, again, we just started watching Maryland yesterday, and I haven't watched a ton of their offense. But what I understand is, the difference will be, if it's the kid that can run really good, that's going to change a little bit of the coverages and run support that you can play, because you got to account for him in the run game. But that's nothing that our defense is foreign. That's foreign to our defense.
Do you count on guys like maybe Drew or Tim to talk to you about this game since they faced them last year?
Both of them have we pulled out, scouting reports and all that stuff from Rutgers and Ohio State, and so we feel like we got a good feel for them. And not every team's going to be different. Week 1s are always scary because, good coaches find ways to maximize their personnel and put their personnel in positions to be successful, and personnel in college football changes every year. And so, for them, you're not sure exactly what you're going to get.
Which safety and which corner have graded the highest in camp, Tom?
Probably Deshaun Elliott at safety, and then certainly Chris Boyd.
Coach, you challenged this team basically from your first meeting with them. After being with this team for several months now, how do you feel about them 2 weeks, before the season? Is this a team that you like and feel like you can win with?
Oh yeah, they've come leaps and bounds from where they were. Again, the consistency of, we had a couple guys, right at the edge of, we eat breakfast from whatever it is, 6 to 6:45 in the morning. Then we got a special teams meeting at 6:45 a.m. Had a couple guys show up at like 6:40, and we had a team meeting at 6:45 to, hey, I don't know what planet you think you woke up on, but that's not okay. And so they're kids, and they're kids with habits, and they're kids that they want to do right, though. There's no defiance. There's no bad apples, so to speak. They're just kids that have some habits that need to constantly be reinforced on the right way of doing things.
Do you still feel like though that you've got more? The phrase you used was compliant but not convicted.
Yeah.
Right. Do you still feel like that? You have
Oh,
some of those
I think
guys,
every day, we have more and more guys that are convicted, that are in the boat. But in order to be that, again, it can't be a, hey, we're doing this because we don't want to get punished. It's a, hey, we're doing this because it's the right way to do it, and it's the way that we believe and know is going to help us win football games. And so I think we're getting there. There's still, again, like I said to Anwar, you'd rather compliant than the alternative, which would be non-compliant. But and so I think most of the team is there. It's the continual belief and belief not to not get punished and not to not get yelled at, but it's the belief of we're doing this because it's the right way to do it.
Where does Christmas need to come the furthest?
Consistency. He shows flashes, and make a great play, and then you won't see his jersey number for 2 or 3 plays, and so he knows that. We just he's got a lot of talent. We got to get it out of him on a play-to-play basis.
Tom, which of the freshmen have lost the red stripe?
It's not just freshmen; it's all newcomers. So Gary Johnson, Cade Brewer, Taquan Graham, Josh Thompson, and Derek Kerstetter. I think that's about it.
Who lost it first?
Taquan.
Tom, sure as school starts, I guess next week you guys will have more freshmen, wanting to walk on the team. Down the road, do you see them comprising most of your scout team, or are you going to keep scholarship guys?
No, yeah, they got to get better. The only way to get better is to play. And if they're sitting on their side of the ball, not getting any reps, just to say I'm not on the scout team, then we're doing them a disservice, and we're doing the other side of the ball a disservice. So, no, if you're not on the 2 deep, you're gonna be getting reps on the scout team. So because you got to play, you got to get better.
Time for 2 last ones.
Go in.
Okay.
Go do it.
Coach, are you and the guys going to watch the eclipse today?
The team, we don't have anything set up. We advise them, don't freaking look at the damn thing, don't stare at it unless you got the special glasses or whatever. But no, we'll be busy in meetings and all that stuff.
Coach, are there any player or players that maybe at the beginning of the off season you had question marks about that you feel like now?
Dorian Leonard.
Why is that?
First month around us was rough. Getting him to go hard all the time, getting him to do the right thing, and him and his position coach have formed a really special bond, and he's a changed man. I like being around him. He goes hard in practice. He's leading. He's one of our few seniors, and that's playing a bunch, and he's gravitated towards that role. So I'm sure there are others, but that one definitely sticks out for me as a guy that's done a 180 in my mind now. Knock on wood, you know. So, but he's doing a great job.
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks.